trying something completely different. This was like spur of the moment. David and I messaging each other on
Mhm.
Instagram, sending our horrible memes back and forth. And yeah, we
Yep.
were just going to talk about travel, all things travel, especially
All
like
things travel.
Disney.
All
So,
things
David,
travel.
how you doing tonight? We'll see if we even
Man, I'm
get
great.
anyone on here.
I am fantastic. I had tacos tonight for dinner, so I'm good. That bathroom's gonna be hitting later. It'll be awesome. You can tell when you have a good dinner and you think to yourself, man, when I go to the bathroom later, it's gonna feel good. And just it's you just, it's a good meal. It's a good meal.
I,
You know,
I
so
agree. Like I
yeah.
had one of those too. I did some grilling and
Mm,
having a beverage out of my 25th anniversary Disney or Disney
I like
glass.
it. I like
Yeah,
it.
this is the Epcot one. I've got all four parks.
Uh huh.
And what's crazy about this, I had these before, but when we bought our house in Nashville 12 years ago or 13 years ago, whatever, these were left behind. The only thing left in the house.
Nice. That's awesome.
So it was fate.
Well, hi. Very good. Very good. Yeah, I'm just hanging out in the office here. You're actually propped on my CD collection. I have two
Oh,
CDs kind of stuck out, and my phone's sitting on top of it. So,
yeah, I've got this kind of propped up on my
mhm,
giant crazy setup. And again, like
right.
I have no idea if this is gonna work or not, but
My
you and I are
my
both
my
trying different
phone
methods.
my phone is sitting on top of a copy of Don Henley's "Building the Perfect Beast" and Jennifer Love Hewitt's CD as well, debut CD. So, yeah,
That's even better. Well,
yep. It's yeah. There she is. So,
oh, there you
yeah.
go. Like, how many CDs do you have now?
Currently, last count because I added four more today. 1542, I think. Yeah, somewhere in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are there any like major go-tos that you have?
What do you mean by go tos? As in like popular, or what do you mean?
Like that you're gonna listen to all the time?
Oh yeah, I mean there's a handful of them that I've listened to all the time. It's because I'm working on because I'll be 50 at the end of this summer, and so I'm
Mm,
kind of working on coming up with my 50 favorite albums of all time and my 50 favorite songs of all time. And through that, and this is why I have a lot of these because a lot of these CDs, like I haven't heard the albums yet. Like I bought Bruce Springsteen's Born in the USA. I've never heard the whole album. I've heard bits and pieces of it, never heard the whole thing. So listening to that kind of gives me a sense of like whatever. Um, what's his name? Meatloaf, Bad Out of Hell. Never heard the whole album. So it's kind of cool listening to some of this, whatever stuff. I mean, go tos though. There are several Taylor Swift albums I go to immediately. Hootie and the Blowfish, Cracked Review is amazing. Alanis
oh,
Morissette's
thank
Jagged
you. One
Little.
of my favorites, top five for sure.
Alanis Morissette's Unplugged album from MTV Unplugged, like 1998, fantastic. Sarah
Ooh,
Bareilles' live album I go to all the time from Atlanta, the Variety Play. I mean, there's a handful of them that I pull up actually on my phone. A lot of times I'm in the shower or driving or whatever. I'm like, you know what? But I'm discovering new artists. Well, new to me. I've never heard Joss Stone until recently, and she's amazing. Diana Krall is amazing. I've kind
so
of dug
good.
into the Jason Mraz catalog and kind of heard some of his back catalog. Great stuff. He's so talented. So it's a cool musical journey. I mean, it really is. It looks like this though. I mean, it's
Wow.
a wall. It is an entire wall. And what's crazy is when I get something like, let's just say I get a brand new Bon Jovi CD or a brand new Backstreet Boy CD, like one of their like EPs or whatever. It's got to go up here, and then everything has to move
You need
one by one. So
like a motorized kind of thing that just kind of
yeah, you'd think, but it's
you
been
know.
cool though because I hit thrift stores, and I mean, like I bought a new one the other day from Target for the first time. First time I bought a new CD in probably 8 months. It was one that I could not find. I just couldn't find it anywhere. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and buy it, and it was actually right down here. I'll show you. It was the 30th anniversary of New Kids on the Block, Step by Step. So,
Woof,
yep,
woof. Now
yep. So
you're a CD guy, but do you also
yes.
collect LPs at all?
I don't because if I did, that would be dangerous because they don't have
Yeah.
room for
So
them. I don't have anywhere to play. I have a CD player. I just don't have any room to play LPs. Like because one of my and you're gonna love this, which you probably won't. But one of my niche collection is my Taylor Swift collection from here to here. I collect all the Taylor variants. Like she's got 8 copies of Folklore. I've got five of those. She's got 7 copies of Midnight, like all different covers, all different whatever. I got all of those. I picked up today the regular edition of 1989, the original Taylor version, not Taylor's version, but the original edition. I've got the deluxe edition. Don't have the regular. So now I picked it up today. And so like And so yeah, that's my niche collection of all those, which is I've got
Mm.
like 43, I think, Taylor Swift albums, which is ridiculous. But Reputation, not my favorite. If anybody listens back to this, they're like, I love Reputation. I hate Reputation. I've listened to Lover again. I gave it another shot. I actually really like it. But I'm a big fan of Midnight's. I think Midnight's is a fantastic album. A lot of people didn't like it. I love Midnight's. So this is the midnight or after midnight edition that I had to order from Japan. It's sickness, man. It's a
Yikes.
sickness. It's a
That
sickness.
that's the sickness for sure.
Yeah, it
Um,
really is. It really is.
I'm definitely, and I've got so many CDs I should send you that like I'm out of the CD
People do
game.
that. They do that. They're like, hey, I got like 30 CDs. I'll sell it to you for like $5, or they'll just give them to me. And what I'll do is I will sort through them. I pick out the ones I want, and then either I will donate the rest, or I will sell them to a local shop here in town, which might give you store credit or whatever. But to palate wet your palate from the Taylor Swift stuff, I do have Criss Cross's Totally Crossed Out album.
Ooh, that's a
You
good
know,
one.
with jump on it, plus fun little stuff like I Missed the Bus, and also one of my favorites. And we'll stop talking about my CDs, but one of my favorites here. Where is it? Yes, here it is. Alison Krauss. Now That I Found You, her greatest hits.
Mm,
This is one of my top 10 albums of all time. I
that's an
love that CD.
amazing album. You can't
Oh,
go wrong with
it's
Alison
incredible.
Krauss.
Well, you can't really. And what's fun is I actually will go to ChatGPT or I will go to Grok, and I will say something like, "Okay, I've got all of Alison Krauss's music. Which album should I listen to if I want to get introduced to Alison Krauss?" Which I know Alison Krauss, but for example, if you want to do Elton John, go to Grok or ChatGPT and say, which album should I you go to first in this artist collection that would be the most friendly to be introduced to, so I can kind of sample some of the big stuff or whatever. And it's a great way to kind of dive into some stuff. I mean,
Hmm.
I've got 5 Sugarland albums down here. I've never heard a single song by Sugarland. I'm going to dive into them at some point, and so
Sugarland's great, and I don't
I'm
know if
sure
you
they're
ever.
awesome. I just haven't had a chance to dive into them yet, but I will because I've got all their music.
They're great, and they got a raw deal because they were on tour and they were at
Mhm.
a fair somewhere, and
Right.
a really bad storm hit, and the stage collapsed,
Oh
and
no.
and it unalived a few people in the crowd, and so they had to break up because otherwise they were going to just absolutely get destroyed in court.
Right. Right. Right.
And neither of them could do it on their own, which I don't know if you're a Righteous Gemstones fan on
Never watched the show. I've heard it, but I've never watched.
it's
Never watched it.
incredible. Jennifer Nettles is in that. She's the singer, one of the
Yeah.
singers in Sugarland. So she's hilarious and fantastic in that show. But yeah, that was a real bummer because they were at like the top of their career and that
Mhm.
happened and they were just done.
Yeah, I thought about getting some Jennifer Nettles too because I know she's got a couple of solo albums out. But I'll do my deep dive into Sugarland at some point soon and kind of listen to all their stuff and pick out what I like. And as I listen to albums, and if I'm like, you know what, I'm 3 albums into this artist and I just don't care for them, I'll sell the CDs. I have a Maroon 5 CD, which I can't imagine is going to stay in my collection long because I could care less about Maroon 5.
Really?
But I will show
Hmm.
you this though. This is a 6-song EP, Hootie and the Blowfish, Coochie Pop. This is their first EP from like 1991. Hard to find. This is one of my prized gems in my collection. It's very hard to find. Um, but
Wow.
it's got the original version of Hold My Hand on it and Only Way to Be With You, and it's got one song called Old Man and Me, which is on their second big album. So
Yep.
yeah.
I love Old
Anyway,
Man and Me.
I could talk about my CDs all day long because I got them all here. But
Hey, that's a good topic for us sometime too.
well, I
Now,
thought about making it a YouTube show or like not YouTube, sorry, a TikTok series where I randomly pick out a CD and listen to it and kind of get my feedback on it and be like, hey, I'm listening to all my albums one by one, and today randomly I'm listening to Natalie Imbruglia's Left of the Middle, and just kind of go through it and talk about it real quick and whatever. And sometimes it might be like, okay, you're listening to I don't know, Amy Grant, Age to Age. Other times it might be like, all right, you're listening to Lion King, the Broadway musical, the whole double CD set. So who knows? But yeah. Anyway.
I love that. I even have a few CDs where I'm
Mhm.
thanked in the liner notes.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
nice.
But I'm
Very
I'm more
nice.
of a record person myself.
Mhm.
I got rid of most of my CDs. Now I do have some really cool CDs from some of my former artists that are like autographed, and
Right.
they're ones that like I haven't even touched,
Yeah.
but they are cool, and I don't need them. So like
Right.
I'll see what you might want, and you can have
I,
them.
I would be happy to. I'd be happy to take them.
But
Absolutely. So
but
yeah.
as far as albums, I've got like some really great stuff. A lot of signed things from artists.
Mhm.
One of my favorites is the Disco Star Wars album.
That's awesome. I've got Disco
It's-
Mickey, but not Disco Star Wars.
oh yeah, let me grab some. I've got my short list over here. Let me grab some.
That's really cool. Let's see.
Yeah, here we go.
Let me show you this too while I'm at it. Let me grab this from down here. Ah, yes. So, oh, look at that.
Yeah, so this
Look
is
at
like
that.
my favorites list. Also, like this was the first like big album that I was mentioned in the liner notes as a thank you.
Mhm.
This is Chris Jansen, Real Friends, and it's
Nice.
got like him, a bunch of songs that he wrote, a couple really big hits of his, and Blake Shelton's on this, so that's kind of cool.
Okay.
But then yeah, here's the Star Wars Galactic Funk.
That is awesome. You should buy a. You should get a like an album frame for that. Put that on the wall.
Yeah, but I listened to it. I actually
Oh,
really
there you
like it.
Mhm.
Let's see. What are some other good ones? Guardians of the Galaxy
Okay.
mixtape.
I've got
On-
the CDs over here. So
Yep.
mhm.
This was a gift. This was the John Williams collection.
Nice.
If
Very
you've seen
nice.
a theme a little bit. There's a record cover from the Mavericks that they gave me.
Cool.
It's fun. Disney
Very cool.
Ultimate Hits. These are ones that I listen to like all the time.
That's awesome.
This one is almost worn out. I'm gonna have to get another copy. This is Prince Piano and Microphone.
Very cool.
And it's
Very
him
awesome.
doing like his hits. So it's like a medley of his hits, like 17 Days, Purple Rain, A Case of You, and it's just him with one microphone playing at his piano in
That's awesome.
1983.
I've got both 1999 and Purple Rain albums down here. I haven't listened to either one of them. I know some of the big songs, but again, that's an artist I want to dive into both of those albums and hear them front to back, to kind of get my assessment on it. And so,
Yeah, totally. Willie Nelson, this one's autographed. This is Summertime. And then
Very cool.
This one is really special. And I love Willie, super nice guy, but not a huge fan.
Right.
Respect, but not a huge fan. But this was his Frank Sinatra tribute.
Okay.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Love it.
Here we go. Here's an autographed one from Parker Millsap. Really love him.
Is that Ronnie's brother?
No. No. Different races even. Autograph from the Mavericks. Steve Earle.
You're okay.
What's this one? I don't even know what that one is. That one's in my listen to all the time, and I don't know what it is. Anyways, Steve Earle, Grant Dermody, and we'll finish it off with this one. This is Led Zeppelin's Song Remains the Same, autographed by everybody but Bonham.
Very cool. I've got one Led Zeppelin album, and I knew nothing about it. I bought it for $1 because it was $1. It's Led Zeppelin's Physical Graffiti. It's a double disc set. I knew nothing about this album at all, but it was $1, and I'm like, this looks important. So, and I actually grokked it. I was like, hey, Grok, what is Physical Graffiti? And they kind of gave this big thing about like it's one of their biggest albums. I'm like, all right, now I own it. So, found this one for $1 too. And this is more new, but this is John Williams' Greatest Hits 69 through 99. It's like a double disc with all the Star Wars stuff, everything from Home Alone to Indiana Jones to Born on the 4th of July, JFK. I mean, everything he touched. It's on here for $1. It was awesome. So
I think we might have just found our podcast.
I think if we decide to do a podcast, at least the very beginning should be, what album did you listen to this week? Or what CD did you listen to this week? And maybe challenge you there. All right, Derek, I challenge you to find a band that you don't care for that much. Listen to one of their albums to see if you like them better. Or, hey, Derek, I challenge you to find a country ingenue that had hits in the 70s. It started in the 70s or whatever. And just, see what we can come up with.
I like that idea a lot.
That would be fun. So,
well, and we were gonna come on here. I think I was just mostly testing to see if this was any good. Like we've had some number fluctuating, which is kind of cool. But really like wanted to talk some fun Disney or travel tips, and you brought up tacos and bathrooms. Now,
Yes.
now that brings up a very wonderful point. I am a
Mm.
connoisseur of Disney bathrooms.
Yes.
I am also
Bibbidi
somebody
bobbidi
who,
poo. Hmm.
yep, I'm also somebody who doesn't like number two in public. Like I'm just that guy. But when you're at Disney, sometimes nature calls.
Yep.
And I would love to put together a list, and I know people have done this a million times,
Right.
but the best bathrooms at Disney.
That's not bad. It's not a bad idea. Because you know what? For me, I'll go anywhere. If I gotta go, I gotta go. As long as it's in private, public bathroom, gas station bathroom, whatever. If I have to do the scrouch and hover, I'll do that. Whatever. I mean, if I gotta go, I gotta go. And I'm not discriminating. Really. By the
Yeah,
way, we'll get back to Disney bathrooms. But did you see or have you heard about the Poop Cruise documentary on Netflix?
I already watched it. I watched it
Me too.
yesterday.
Same. It is wild.
So
Oh my
it's
goodness.
it's extra wild for me because well, you've done quite a few cruises, but like
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
on 16 cruises and all of them
Mhm.
have been on two boats that are identical. They're identical boats. The Norwegian Pearl and the Norwegian
Right,
Gem. Um, and they're all music festivals. Now, we've
right.
never had anything like that happen.
Right.
Nothing
And you
remotely
probably
close.
won't at this point. I think all the cruise lines were like, "Nope, fix that now."
I
So,
mean, that boat's still out on the water.
well, they to be fair, they put like like what $75 million into refurbishing the whole thing, and now it's called the Sunrise. The Triumph doesn't exist. It's the Sunrise, which I've seen it actually in port. So people are like, "It's the same," but it's not the same ship. They refurbished the entire thing. It's it's the same hull and everything. So I don't give them crap for that. Pun intended. They didn't want to scrap the whole thing because that'd be like a $500 million. So I mean, you just redo the whole thing and reboot it or whatever. So because one of my
Right.
friends was like, and the fin's still missing. No, that fin is not missing. If it is, that's a different accident. Which it's Carnival. I mean, it's the
Yeah.
Walmart of cruises. So,
Yeah. I mean, I've
and
only
people love
been
it,
on
but
Norwegian. I've
yeah,
only
people love
done
it.
Norwegian cruises, but I didn't even have a subscription to Netflix anymore, and I added
Mhm.
it just to watch that show.
It's wild, man. That documentaries, and I'd heard about the cruise anyway, but it was cool seeing an entire thing. And actually, on TikTok, there are several people that were like, "Yeah, I was on that cruise," and they were showing pictures of themselves on the cruise when they were younger, talking about like, because I think one girl was like, she thought it was an engine thing of why the ship tilted. She didn't know it was the tugboats. Because for those who haven't watched the documentary, brief synopsis: Carnival ship broke down in the middle of the water. All the cables broke, power cables burnt up in a fire. No power, no running toilets, nothing on a 4 night cruise. They were there for 7 days. It was like mass chaos. For some stupid reason, they opened the bars for free drinks for like 2 hours. People went insane. And as the tugboats were pulling the ship tilted at about a 40-degree angle. So all the toilets that were full of everything began to overflow because of the tilt. And like you were walking in the hall and you're walking in pee pee and poo poo and just yeah, it's I think everybody was like, we can handle it. We could have handled it until that point when that ship tilted. And yeah. So
Yeah,
that documentary is insane.
it is wild. The only
Yeah.
crazy bathroom story on a cruise ship I think I had was I was on the Melissa Etheridge cruise,
Hmm.
and there were 1,400 women and 84 men. So they converted several of the bathrooms from
Right.
men to women. Now, that would have probably been okay had I not been on the boat for 3 weeks prior to that, like 3 full weeks.
So you knew where all the
And
bathrooms were supposed to be.
yeah, and I walked into several of them like,
Ha!
and no one cared. It was
Right.
totally fun. It was such
Right.
a blast and such a wonderful experience, but it was
Come
just
poop
still
in
like,
my window.
yeah. Come to my window.
Pee
Yeah.
inside. Whiz by the light of the moon. Oh yeah.
So yeah, so hopefully I never have to experience anything close to that. But
Yeah.
and since you are much better at bathrooms, I feel
Mhm.
like privacy is a thing. And it's kind of weird because I've toured for so long and I've been on the
Right.
road and traveled, but that's just like it's kind of my bugaboo. Whereas like my
Mhm.
brother wears the shirt to Disney that said, I pooed at Disney. And so like for me, it's kind of like I need to find the right bathroom.
Right.
And so if I broke that down of like, I'll never forget. Like I was waiting for my friend one night. He works at Disney, and I was just hanging on the boardwalk, and I was like, I had to go. The boardwalk bathrooms, amazing. Those were great. Highly
Yes.
recommend. But
Mhm.
then, like, if you talk each individual park, like if you started at Magic Kingdom, what would be like a couple of your top ones at Magic Kingdom?
Well, see, this is a little tougher because my son is autistic and he has a sensory issue with the hand blowers. So typically we go to family restrooms. Now, I will say this for a long time, and not just Disney, but most places were conveniently putting in hand blowers, which I hate those things because it never really dries my hands. I have to reach in and get toilet paper. You get those toilet paper niblets all over your hands when you're drying with toilet paper, like half apply or whatever. The new bathrooms are putting in, a lot of them don't have blowers, which is nice. But we go to the family restroom. So the one down by Storybook Circus is always a great bathroom. It's always clean down there, and it's a lot of little kids are down there and stuff too. But they parents take the little kids into the appropriate bathroom versus the family, which is nice. Um, but also, of course, we love the Tangle bathrooms are good, except they're really busy because everybody goes to those.
Yep.
Over by Space Mountain, however, there is a set of bathrooms over there which are really comfortable and they're kind of tucked away. I mean, people know they're there, but they're not overly crazy over there. You come off of Tron, you're going to Space Mountain, whatever, go to the right, and they're kind of that white wall right there. You can see the people moving behind you. Those are actually really nice bathrooms over there in the corner
That
to
was
go
going to
to,
be
and they're
my
kind of
number
just
one
out of the way.
bathroom. Yeah,
Yep.
that's my number one bathroom because also like you have Carousel of Progress over there. But
Yep.
one night we were going, I was waiting for my wife at the bathroom, and I got to see it was an after hours event, and I got to see some of the cats come out.
Oh, awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, so I was like waiting by that bathroom. But yes, that's my number one bathroom at Magic Kingdom.
Hmm.
Otherwise, the bathroom inside of the former Tortuga um,
Hmm.
was amazing because no one ever went in there.
Right. Right. And you can run. I mean, you can always run into a bathroom in one of the restaurants if you have to. Like if you have to go to, if you're at Tony's Town Square, they got bathrooms right there that area. If you're going in the plaza, whatever, there's actually bathrooms right outside the plaza. As you're walking, if you're walking towards the castle, you take a right to go to Tomorrowland. You walk up that ramp and around that hill. In the corner, there are some bathrooms over there before that ramp. I mean, people know they're there, but they're not nearly as popular as say the Tangled bathrooms are, or the front, where the baby care center is. And so, but I would really try to go to Tomorrowland. Those are good bathrooms. Splash Mountain had great bathrooms because they were usually just for the people coming off the ride. I think Tiana has their bathrooms are still there, but I don't remember. I can't say that for sure.
Yeah, I haven't tried those. And then there was a bathroom on Tom Sawyer Island, right? There had to. Yes,
I
there is.
Yeah, there is.
There is.
There is until the 13th, I think, of July when I think it closes for good.
Yeah. So I'm sure
So
that would
7th
be
or
a good
13th.
one.
Yeah.
I'm sure that'd be
So
nice and private, but like if you had to get there is a little bit
right.
difficult.
Well, I mean, if you're standing there by the boat dock and you're like, kind of, gotta go, get that like your hair on your arms kind of raised up, a little goose pimples. You're like, you got a turtle head poking out. You're prairie dogging. Just go over here to Tortugas where those bathrooms are there. If you're prairie dogging, it's time to find a bathroom. Don't wait for the boat. So.
I think this is the podcast right now. I love this. And it can just be on my channel because it's like, let's be frank, we're talking about real issues of bathrooms.
Well, I mean, everybody's got to go. Well, and we're talking. Let's talk parents because obviously you take your kids wherever you can take them. And so I take my kid to the family bathroom, but sometimes we got to go. And it is what it is. You got to move. You got to get going. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and even though the bathroom at the front of Main Street, like by the fire
by City
station,
Hall. Yeah, fire station.
yeah, I really love that bathroom because they keep it so clean. Now
They do
it's
because it's
very
front of the park.
busy.
But
Yeah,
yep,
it's very busy, but I feel like they do such a wonderful job of cleaning it.
yeah, I agree. I agree on that.
Yeah. So that's one. All right, let's switch parks then.
Okay, parks.
What park you want to go to?
Well, let's talk about Epcot. Epcot's got
Mm,
bathrooms all over the place. They've got, especially in World Showcase and everything, but probably some of my favorite bathrooms in World Showcase are I like the Germany bathrooms because those tend to be clean as well. The bathrooms over in England, kind of off in the corner behind the phone booth area, but International Gateway has a set of restrooms right there by the gate, and I can't remember. I think I can't remember if it's right inside the gate or right outside the gate. But those bathrooms really, I feel like people don't go to very often because you've already gone to the restroom when you're coming into the park, you're leaving the park. So you want to get on the Skyliner or hit the parks or whatever, and there's a set of bathrooms that are right there that are really comfortable, as well as bathrooms over in France. Like every country has their own bathrooms and stuff. So you can kind of find bathrooms in there. A lot of them are tucked down by back of the back. The ones that are really busy tend to be the ones over there by Test Track, and there's some over there on the other side, close to the land. There are bathrooms down there on the bottom, so there's bathrooms everywhere at Epcot, honestly. So
Yeah. Well, and one of my go-tos is Morocco.
yep, okay,
And also it's beautiful because, they have all the mosaics in there,
yeah. So
which is
you can look, look and see.
yeah. And it's interesting you brought up a point that I'll bring up at Animal Kingdom later about bathrooms, but we'll
Okay.
go with that later. Some other bathrooms that I really like at Epcot are in the seas.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Because I feel like there's not that many people in there.
Right. Right. And that's the thing about Epcot. They're so spread out that there's one or two set of bathrooms that everybody goes to because they're so easy to get to. But otherwise, there are bathrooms everywhere. There's bathrooms as you're walking towards from, and I'm not using the neighborhood terminology. It's Future World and World Showcase. I'll get to the neighborhood at some point because I don't even know what's what, Discovery and Future Neighborhood, whatever. But as
I
you're
know.
walking from the land formerly known as Future World towards World Showcase, the Mexico side where the Odyssey is, there are some bathrooms over there as you're walking by. And those tend to be bathrooms people forget. It's one of those kind of bathrooms that you walk by going, oh, you know what? I got to go. I'll go in here real quick. The baby care center is over there. It's all right in there. Baby care center is actually a great place for even adults to go if you need something, you need a place to rest or whatever. Which we can talk about that later. But don't sleep with the baby care centers if you just need a moment to kind of compose yourself. It's a good place to go. So.
Now, any bathrooms that you avoid at Epcot? Because for me, it would be inside the Mexico Pavilion because you have to go by the restaurant.
Yes.
And it's like 2 stalls. I think it's one stall and 2 urinals.
Unless I'm going to La Cava, which I seldom do, or Grand Fiesta Tour, I don't go into the Mexico Pavilion because it's so cramped and crowded in there. It's
and
so
there's
crowded.
rats in there.
Yep, well, that too. Plus, I'm not a fan of the restaurant. I don't think the restaurant's that good. I mean, everybody loves it. I'm like,
I was there and a rat ran under our table twice.
Well, I mean, that's basically dinner trying to get away. But honestly, though, we love Remy, and we like everybody talks about how what's his name is the villain of the story. He's just a food critic who didn't want rats cooking his food. So I mean,
he was very misunderstood.
Very misunderstood. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's one I definitely avoid. But yeah, you're right. There's good bathrooms all over there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can find like the one good thing about Disney is there are bathrooms everywhere, which you can find them. And one thing I don't want to say I had trouble with it because I was at Epic Universe. Like a lot of times it was kind of hard finding a bathroom. I mean, I knew they were there, but you couldn't find them. It wasn't like real prominent. And we were in Mario World and like I had to search around. I was like, where the frick is the bathroom? I got to pee, man. And I went to the wrong place. There was like little lockers over there. Like, nope, this is not it. I had to go over here. It's like, no, the bathrooms are way over there. I'm like, really? You guys can't put like an easy find bathroom in every land? What the heck? So yeah, I was not a fan of that in Epic.
Yeah. I was just at Mall of America this past week and finding a bathroom there is impossible.
Right.
Like, just keep shopping for your tax-free shopping because there's no bathrooms. It's like 4 floors and miles of shopping and no bathrooms. It's ridiculous. All right, well, let's move along to Animal Kingdom because you brought up, oh, look at you, green screening it. I know, and it's funny because I'm looking at my phone and my quality looks great, then I'm looking at my computer and my quality is horrible. I don't know.
Right.
We'll figure it out.
I don't do much on quality because I know how to work. Like even the key light that I have, I can't really make it work for good lighting. And of course, it's the cheap key light, but
well, and I've got good lighting. My problem is I don't know. I don't know what the problem is. And if we continue to do these, we'll do it like actual setup where we'll use our computers.
Yeah, I was gonna say we'll figure something out where it's a little more conducive to good setup or whatever. So
yeah, this was just kind of a quick fun thing to try.
There we go. Chicago, why not?
Yeah, but since you talked about the bathroom at the front of International Gateway, one of my wife's favorite bathrooms is the front of Animal Kingdom. When you come to the right side, because I don't know if it's the animal nature of that park, but every time we walk in, or if it's the Joffreys that she picks up right before, but it's always like, I got to go now. I'm
Right.
like,
Well,
cool.
and there really aren't any bathrooms I pick out. Like you mentioned earlier, what's my least favorite bathroom? It's hard to pick that out because most bathrooms are fine. I mean, most bathrooms are great. The ones that I really like, again, I look at what is a family restroom, and like in Pandora, there's one over there by Satuli Canteen. A lot of people go to that when it's right there by the restaurants. But on the other side of Pandora, there's another one in a little, I guess, a little bathroom kiosk there, not visited nearly enough or nearly as much, and it's got family restrooms as well. So that's easy to get to. It's right
Is
there.
it that
But
little
there are
cove
bathrooms. Yep,
by the water ride?
yep. By
Yep.
Navi's River
Yeah.
Journey. But my favorite and the one I recommend is the one over by the Nemo building because like nobody goes there. It's kind of
Yeah.
tucked away. There are bathrooms over there, and like if you need privacy, get in there. Especially if like when people are coming out of the show, people will stop in there. But between shows, if that show is going on, nobody goes to those bathrooms because you have to walk down a hill to get to them, and they're kind of out of the way. So if you're like, you know what, man, I had some tacos this morning. I need 20 minutes and some silence, because I'm about to light that thing up. That's a great place to do it.
now,
Great
now,
place
if
to
you're
go.
like me and somebody who plans ahead, and you're like,
Mhm.
I know I got like 15 minutes, I'm gonna go
Right.
back to the Discovery Island, and I'm going back there because there's no one back there,
Right.
and you already have all the petting zoo, so like you don't have to worry about anything, any problems and smelling or nothing.
The worst thing though is when you go and you go to like a something with one or two stalls, like a lot of bathrooms are very small. You go in there and somebody's already been in there and lit that place up. And you walk in there like, oh man. And so you go. And the person that comes in after you is like, and you're walking out of the stall and you're like, that's not me. I promise you, this was not me. I was in there 3 minutes, I was done. And they're like, sure, it wasn't you.
Yep.
It's paint's
I
peeling in here. Like, that wasn't me, man. I didn't do it.
I recently had that at Yacht and Beach Club, which I had never been in Yacht and Beach Club before, but I was meeting
Mhm.
with Meg and I was
Right.
waiting for her. She's like, hey, my employee parking's over at Yacht and Beach. Just meet me there because I was staying at Swan and Dolphin. And then
Right.
I had, just go number one real quick. And somebody had lit that stall up and he left. And as he left, I start walking to the sink and somebody walks in and went, and I'm like, no, dude,
Yeah.
bro, not me, man.
And of course, what else are you going to say? Because if it was me, I'd be like, not me, man, not me. So yeah, I get that. And it's really unfortunate, especially if you'd actually only have to go number two. You just went number one. You just took a pee break real quick, and then
Yeah.
yeah, it's all bad.
Also,
So
I felt incredibly, and this is a sidebar, but I felt incredibly uncomfortable at that resort.
Mhm.
I felt not welcomed, not wanted.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Interesting.
it was also, I think it was it Mother's Day or no, maybe it was Father's Day. It was one
Father's
of those
Day.
days.
Right.
Yeah, maybe it was Father's Day, and everybody was all dressed up, all fancy, and like the guy greeting people in the foyer area that was in the captain's suit, like I just did not feel welcome there. And it's
Right.
just because it's not my place, like it's not my vibe.
Well, it's good that you bring up resorts though, because a lot of the fancy resorts, like the Beach Club and like Grand Floridian especially, they've got the doors that are like ceiling to floor. So there's
Mhm.
no gap at that big gap and everything where you see the feet stuff. There's no that gap, and they're like shuttered and stuff like that. So there's no. It's almost like you're like a little prison bedroom. Like, oh, this is like a prison cell, and it's great. It's real tiny and whatever. So it's, of course, the difference is you can leave, which is nice. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but that's why I liked the boardwalk bathrooms because those were
yeah,
great.
yep.
Those, but continuing at Animal Kingdom, I mean, Animal Kingdom, you can kind of get away with some stuff because there's a lot of animals, a lot of smells.
Right, man. That giraffe lit this place up. Yeah. So yeah.
Just don't go in Harambe. Harambe's got
Sorry,
some
you're in
rough
Dino Land. I
bathrooms.
know, but it was a giraffe. Yeah.
There was definitely a T-Rex in there,
Yes.
without a
No, not
doubt.
anymore. Dino Land's going away. But
Oh, I know. I'm so sad. So, like, I'm one of those rare people that likes Restaurantosaurus
mhm.
and the little bar lounge over there. I don't know what it is about like the burgers and chicken strips. Maybe it's getting them in the lunch pail or whatever. But I really loved them over there, and maybe it
Well,
was
it's
because I'm.
reliable. It's really
That's it.
reliable because unlike other parks where you can get burgers in like 4 or 5 different restaurants in the parks, Animal Kingdom you can't do that. Everything is specialized, and so if you want, like, I see the burgers and chicken fingers, that's where you go is your Restaurantosaurus. Biggest bone to pick, however, with Disney and Dino Land, and I don't mind it going away. All they had to do was to Indiana Jones, Big Dig, or something like that, and keep it exactly the same. They spend
Yep.
$140 at Kinko's and or whatever and build some new signs. Done. Josh, tomorrow I just saved you $775,000 by just doing that right there. And they don't listen to the show. They don't listen to the podcast. I mean, honestly. So, because they said they're going to put a playground in Tropic Americas, but I'm like, really, just right there. That's your playground. Just change the signs, put Indiana Jones on it. You're done. So,
I know.
yeah,
And it would have been awesome too. And they could have put like
yeah.
some Nazi memorabilia in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And some some like small guns and stuff like that, so you could act out the sword scene where he just shoots, shoots the guy. That's fantastic. Especially if you're sick, you can really get into it. Like I have a fever, like Harrison Jones or Harrison Ford has, so I'm just going to shoot the guy. It's perfect, right? So yeah, role play.
Man. All right, moving on. So we've got the 3 parks. Now we've got one left.
Hollywood.
Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios. The most popular bathrooms, I feel like, are Toy Story Land, which, I mean, big. There's a couple of bathrooms in Galaxy's Edge, which I think are okay. They're not used very much, which is fine. The bathrooms actually, you walk past the restaurant or whatever, and you round the corner, and you're about to go down to Toy Story Land. There's some bathrooms right there. There's a Joffrey's to your left, Toy Story Land's to your right. Those are great bathrooms, kind of tucked away a little bit. It's always cool over there because people are waiting for you. There's shade right there. The family can sit and wait for you while you're in the bathrooms. Family bathrooms, no blowers. Those are probably some of my favorite bathrooms in Hollywood. They're just
That's
really, really easy.
right
to
outside
use.
of One Man's Dream, right?
Yep.
Yep. Those are great bathrooms. Now, if you are like me and you want a very private bathroom, very clean, you go into Star Wars Launch Bay. Because there's no one there. Ever. Uh-oh. I think David froze. He's frozen on our screen. Hopefully he comes back. If not, it's okay. If not, I'll probably just end it. Oh, he clicked. He moved. We're gonna see. I still don't have him, but in the meantime, Star Wars Launch Bay bathrooms are the best for me. They're clean. There's never anyone there. Like, I mean, no one is ever there. So those are my main go-tos. I'm trying to think of some other ones while hopefully David can get back on here. I'm not sure if he can because he is super frozen. He did say that they have a storm going on down in Alabama. But what are some other good bathrooms? Oh, yep, he's gone now. Let's see. Looks like my camera quality is also pretty rough. So if he doesn't get back on, not a big deal. We'll finish this out. Other bathrooms, again, the restaurant bathrooms are really, really good. And then there is a bathroom that is by Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway connected to the Frozen sing-along show that I think is really wonderful. So those are my go-to bathrooms. Well, since David had to jump off because he froze, I'm sure he's in a storm. I hope he didn't get hit by a tornado. I hope everything's okay. I am going to go ahead and sign off, but this was really fun. Hopefully we'll do some more of these, and hopefully we can make sure David's safe. But until next time, everybody, let's be frank. We can talk about bathrooms at Disney all we want and be adults about it because everybody has to go, number 1 and number 2. So see you later. Bye-bye.